Hello, it's the 16th of June. Welcome along to Renew Every Morning. I'm Paul Anderson-Walsh and I'm thrilled that you're with me again today. And today we're going to be looking at a much beloved verse from the book of Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 31. And my title, I guess, for this would be Hope is the Rope That Lifts You. Well, let's think about the verse because it's a glorious verse. You'll know it very well, of course. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and will not grow weary. They will walk and they will not faint. Do you know, one of the things that I find interesting about this, early on when we were teaching the Grace Message, if I go back, I don't know, 25 years or so, when we were first started the Grace Project, there was a really interesting thought that was, people were talking about essentially that they used to call greasy grace, lazy grace, and all the rest of it. And this verse really helped me because what I realized was that it wasn't that people that come to grace works, right? It's not that, how should I do this for you? It's not that when you come to understand grace and love that you don't do anything. You do, but you don't, right? Because it's not you, it's Christ. But the point is this, if you notice this verse here, they will run, but they won't grow weary. You see, the thing is, they will walk, but they won't be faint. Now, the difference between someone who's living under the law of self-effort and someone who's living in Christ is this, is they run, but they grow weary. We run, but we don't grow weary. They walk, and they faint. We walk, and we don't. And the key to that is important. So it's not about doing something, it's about where the doing and the energy is coming from. This is the whole point about the burning bush and so on and so forth. This is Paul's whole revelation about Christ in you. But it's really important because this verse seems to me to be a pivot verse for those who've come to know union. Because to be honest, and this certainly is my story, it may not be yours, but it's certainly mine. This verse only really resonated with me when I completely spent myself, when I totally burnt out. You know, people spend years chasing money, chasing mansions, chasing Facebook mentions, whatever else it might be, or just something that might make you feel more elevated, feel better. If we can add more, get more, do more, be more, say more, whatever it might be. And we just think if we can kind of constantly upgrade the quality of our lives, then we'll feel complete. So we strive and we add and we gather and we attempt to be more than we think we are. And we change the way we look. And it just goes on and on and on. But then comes the moment when we finally have everything we ever thought we needed to have, if you ever get to that, and then you find out, I've got everything I need to live, but now there's no time left to live it. And it's just incredible. And for me, this idea about just taking a moment and saying, that's a tragedy that I don't want to confront, and it's certainly a tragedy I don't want anybody else to confront. But that's where we realize, maybe, that we've been living Isaiah's prophecy in reverse. Because look, those who hope in themselves will exhaust their strength. Though they'll sink like stones in still water. Those who hope in outcomes, in people, or in their own effort, finally end up finding only anxiety, control, and despair. That's just the way it works. Instead of renewing their strength, they wear themselves out. That's true. They run on empty. They're running around in circles. They are exhausted. Burnout is at epidemic levels. Was it Freudenberger who said burnout is when somebody is in a state of exhaustion or fatigue caused by a dedication to a way of life that failed to bring about the expected reward? That's religion for you. That's life on your own terms. So rather than soaring like eagles, they're kind of stumbling around like turkeys, unfortunately. No vision, no lift, no altitude, nothing. And no matter how many gym sessions you go to, no matter how many prayer meetings they attend, no matter how many supplements they drink, they still find themselves collapsing in an absolute heap. That's the truth. Worn out, heavy-hearted, and frankly giving up. But, and I love when you see this in scripture, when you see that verse, but, I always want to kind of wish I could increase the font to size 90, embolden it and put it in capital letters. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Why? Because where you place your hope depends on how you carry your weight, or who carries your weight, perhaps is even more important to think of it in that way around. And then let's take a closer look. The people are tired, and when Isaiah is writing to this community, they are completely exhausted. They're wiped out, they're disillusioned, they're down, they're disorientated, they're depressed, they're dislocated, and they're just wondering, has God forgotten us? And I wonder if we've ever thought about that. And that's why the chapter begins, comfort ye my people. And there is a real call, a real cry of the heart to bring these people back into alignment, to renew their vision. And Isaiah reminds them of God's gentleness in his great care. And then he comes and says this, he says, hope, those who hope. And to hope is to wait with expectation, without exception, just to wait, to wait. And the idea here is of being, when you're waiting, is actually being bound together, twisted into a rope. A three-stranded cord is not easily broken, said Solomon. Braided together, if you like. So this isn't like a passive hanging around kind of waiting, oh, we'll see, what time's the next bus kind of thing. This is an active trusting where you're being literally entwined, braided, plaited, roped together with God. They will renew their strength. So as that braiding is taking place, as that roping effect is taking place, what's happening is you're exchanging your strength. It's a very, very lovely image, this. Not just restored strength, not just like you've recharged the battery and you're ready to go for another day. No, this is new strength. This is trading weakness and vulnerability for vitality. And this strength is this idea of, it's kind of capacity, it's the power to act, the power to endure, it's that divine capacity. Now watch, when you think about the eagle's such a lovely metaphor for us, because eagles don't flap harder, that's not what they do. They don't freak out flapping, trying to get themselves going. What they do instead is they wait for the thermal current and they glide in the thermal current. And the thermal current is the breeze and the wind of the Spirit, and we catch it and we're moved by it. And this is not a picture of frantic effort, is it? It's not about industry, it's about artistry. It's about the divine lift, if you like. And Isaiah gives us these lovely levels. He talks about these moments of soaring. And that moment of soaring, when you're soaring like an eagle, those are those moments of maybe they are the moments of super consciousness, when your spiritual vision is so clear, you've got so much clarity on everything, you can truly see ahead. But he also talks not just about those extraordinary moments, those moments of running in the Spirit, for life sprints when you have to get things done, but the Spirit enables that, turbos that, if you like, and then that walking for that long, slow, faithful journey. And the point is that God's there for all of it, and his Spirit renews you in all of it. And so hope, if you like, is this rope. It's not a feeling. It's what binds you. What binds your weakness to his strength. Renewal's an exchange, a divine exchange, if you like. You don't get old energy back. You get God's limitless, indefatigable energy. That's what you get. And God meets you at your pace as well. It's grace at your pace. That's the point. And when you're soaring, whether you're running, whether you're walking, he gives you what you need. That's what happens. So maybe today we need to do a little spiritual practice ourselves, maybe to think about this rope of hope that I'm calling it. So maybe picture your hope today as a braided cord, as a kind of three-stranded cord that's not easily broken. God sees me, God is in me, and God will carry me. Those truths are immutable. And now maybe we should just pray the verse backwards together. I will not grow faint. Why? Because God renews my strength. I will run because I'm not alone. I will soar, not because I'm powerful, but because I trust the wind of the Spirit. Well, strength doesn't come from striving, does it? It comes from trusting. And may you not only just have strength, but may you soar. And when you're too tired to fly, when you're too weary to run, and when your legs are just too heavy to walk, hope is the thing that lifts you. So wait, breathe, and trust in the flow. All right, God bless. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.